Yeah. Similarly, China has 2 exascale computers, 2 of the fastest supercomputers in the world, built in a completely different way, Ocean Light and Tianhe 3, because they just built at scale and bulk. Now, what the case is here is that this particular thing is they want to increase US production because the means of production and the means of productivity of a society were traditionally its capital stock, its industrial capital stock, its IP. It will be chips. How competitive you are on the world will be how much compute and intelligence you have. I think the US has realized this.
And how much energy you have to throw at it.
Yeah, that's a factor of that as well. And so the US has realized this. So it's drill, baby, drill. It's re-onshore as much of this as possible. And it's create the incentives to do that, which is basically this. Like, they'll take any of that tariff money and they'll put it straight back into Stargate type initiatives, I think.
What do you think about Stargate? Speaking of Stargate.
I think the $500 billion is the total cost of ownership. That's pretty well known. It'll probably like $100 billion when you back everything out, which feels small these days, but it's actually a lot of money. But then when we compare that to the 5G rollout, it's less money than we've spent on 5G. And this is more important than 5G. Compare it to, I mean, it's the order of magnitude of the Los Angeles, San Francisco Railway, you know? Like,
the mythical Los Angeles, San Francisco Railway.
There's like a kilometer already there.
Salim, did you see this article this morning from Reuters? Alibaba releases AI model, it says surpasses DeepSeek. The unusual timing of Qwen 2.5, Max's release, points to the pressure Chinese AI startup DeepSeek meteoric rise in the past 3 weeks has placed on not just overseas rivals, but also its domestic competition.
You know, this speaks to the democratization, right? I mean, everybody will end up creating a bunch of models, and I think we'll end up with a bunch of very specialized models, right? I remember Eric Schmidt's comment that you'll end up with a specialized AI that's the world's best physicist, and a one that's the world's best biotech person. And that person can be replicated. That AI can be replicated infinitely. And so now what do you do with deep specialty on the human side? And that, I think, is the bigger question around a lot of this stuff. The models are just going to keep getting better and better as we've seen over time. I mean, I think Emad's comment around what do you do with labor and seeking capital is a really, really profound question. That's, I think, the really structurally, from a societal perspective, that's the question I think we should be spending a lot more time on as a global intellectual forum of how do you navigate this going forward.